Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, Day 4 of Vayeshev. Let's continue on in chapter number 38. Wonderful, powerful pictures being shown here. It says that Yehudah leaves his brothers and he turns aside. He is perhaps leaving the identity of the family. Maybe he is tired of seeing a weeping old father groaning and grieving for a brother he knows that he had a hand in the disappearance of, but has no answers, no ability to explain anything to him. And his guilt is just driving him away. So he leaves the family, and it says he goes down. Now, the Hebrew word here says he left Yarad. He went down from his brothers, going to Hira, an Adullamite. Is this an Arab? So as Joseph is forced down in his estimation, in his state of being taken down, Yehudah then also is taken down. He more voluntarily leaves and goes down. But both of these two significant houses are going down at this particular time. Abdullah means justice for the people. Interesting. Hira, the wife that he takes, means noble family. The two names actually are standing in contrast one for the other, at least as we would first estimate. The justice for the people normally is a cry from among the masses, while the nobles are those that are typically the ones oppressing. However, in this situation, we also see a picture of the modern day Arab elites crying out for, quote, justice for the people, unquote, referencing those that they call Palestinians. When Yehudah goes down, when he leaves off the significance of his family, when he only sees himself perhaps as an Israelite, a nation among the nations, if he joins himself politically for survival, then he oftentimes then will join in with the cry of the Arab elite nobility and be willing to sign on for justice for the people in order for peace felt abroad. Interesting picture. He goes down. In fact, he takes a Canaanite wife, something that the earlier patriarchs made sure that that did not happen. Now, out of Yehudah is to come the Mashiach. And Mashiach must not come from a Canaanitish woman. She dies. The hand of Yah? Perhaps. He has 3 sons, 2 of which are so evil that Yah arbitrarily just slays them. Things are not going well for Yehudah. So his sons had married the woman Tamar. Now, Tamar, she fascinates me. Her name means tall palm tree or to be erect. This gives me the picture of a woman, if she's true to her name, then she is a woman of beauty and graceful quality, tall, elegant, fruit-bearing, a wonderful picture for the bride of Messiah. As a tree, it's a tree being symbolic of one who is a Sadiq. Is this not perhaps a righteous woman, a woman who is willing to pursue the lineage of the Moshiach? Now, how would she have even known this? Well, the rabbinical take on her is that she is the daughter of Shem, who would have died 66 years earlier. That would have made her at least 67. I would go so far, maybe she's the granddaughter of Shem. Maybe. More on that in a moment. So having two sons that have been married to Tamar and they have both died, she has taken on the picture of a woman who evidently is cursed. Yehudah is very reluctant to give his last son to her, Shelah. So it would seem then, if he's not going to give his son to her to raise up seed to his first two sons, then he is willing to allow the lineage of his first two sons to die out, and very likely here to allow his own personal lineage to die out. This cannot happen. Tamar is refusing to die as a widow without a child. She's not going to be given the youngest son. She knows out of desperation something has to be done. Now, it would seem that she has taken on a likelihood of Rivkah in this instance, where she takes matters into her own hands. Now, could Yah have not worked this out? I know that he could have. Are her choices the right choices? I will not sit here and tell you that her playing the role of a harlot, at least in disguise, to seduce her father-in-law in order to get pregnant and continue the lineage, is the methodology that the father has chosen to orchestrate. I don't believe that. However, Yah, in spite of human intervention, still is able to bring about his plan and his will. What does this tell us? This tells us that when we put our hands in involvement to the things that Yah is trying to do, and they're working contrary to what he would first desire, he still has the means and the methodology to bring about his will in spite of us. We can't sit back and do nothing. Sometimes, however, what we choose to do is not the right thing. So she plays the role. Yehudah and her have relations. Yehudah doesn't know who she is, and she ends up going to be pregnant. Now, in payment for this night, she requests three things. The chotam, that is his signet. This is the ring that is used to press into a seal of wax to signify who the owner is. This is the same word in Shemot, or Exodus 28:36. You shall make a plate of pure gold and engrave on it like the engraving of a signet or chotam, holiness to Yahweh. Interesting contrast. She asks for his cord, his patil. This is the same word for the tassels or the thread of blue, later to be required on the fringes of Israelites' garments. Speak to the children of Israel in Bamidbar 15:38. Tell them to make tassels on the corners of the garments throughout their generations. Put a blue thread, a patil, in the tassels of the corners. And then she asks for his mateh, his staff. This is often a word that is translated not only as staff, but a tribe. Maybe it's the staff of tribal eldership in leadership, his leadership and authority. So, three things. The seal is his identity. His staff is his authority, his proclamation of the Torah. And then his cord is the sign of his redemption. He gives us all away for one night of companionship and physical desire. When Tamar is found to be pregnant, he says, burn her. This is reserved execution for the daughter of priesthood. So maybe she is from Shem's lineage. Maybe she does have a prophetic awareness of who Yehudah is to be and the significance of his lineage continuing on. When Yehudah is presented with the things that belong to him, do you recognize these? It's the same phrasing that he used to Yaakov when he presented Joseph's bloody coat. Do you recognize this? Measure for measure. Folks, we're all going to face it. Walk carefully. Walk very, very carefully. Until tomorrow, shalom.